Hey guys, it's Anno from mobilereviews.ca, and today I'm going to do a review of the HitCase Snap for the iPhone 6s and 6s Plus. This is one of the most versatile iPhone camera cases that I've come across because it basically lets you use your iPhone camera anywhere. The case by itself is actually quite average, but HitCase does do a great job of allowing you to integrate it with other accessories. This is a great case primarily for a videographer, as there are a couple of issues with still photography that might be a deal breaker for some. Based on my time with this case, I've given a score of 3.5 A's out of 5. It is a little lower than the Z Prime, as well as the Moment lens case, but is definitely better than the Olo Clip 4-in-1. If you're wondering what else I've reviewed of HitCase, check out my review for the HitCase Pro, or if you want to see what other camera cases I reviewed, just find that on my website. Search for it. Links are in the I or the description section below. Real usage, real reviews, mobilereviews.ca. And mobilereviews.ca based on my reviews on actual usage. So with the camera case, I spent a lot of time taking pictures of Monty. Come here. Come on. Of Monty. I spent a lot of time with the product, seeing how well it works and figuring out who would benefit the most from the product and trying to use everything that comes in the box. Your input does come into play with the Ranker tool that I've created, and well, you guys have slowly voted up the snap, so here's the review. I've had this camera case for a while, and I actually did use it on my vacation towards the end of last year, where I took the Olo Clip in this case out and did a comparison between the two, and the snap did come out on top. So with this review, I'm going to talk about the case as quickly as I possibly can and then spend a lot more time on the fun stuff, namely the lens as well as the mounting system. For design, the actual case is a little slicker. It's a little bigger than the average iPhone case, and the glossy back will scratch a little easier over time. The camera area has what HitCase calls a blade mount, which makes mounting lenses very easy. On the edge with the sleep power button, they have something called the Railslide, which is used to mount to their tripod mount, as well, which then mounts to a variety of different GoPro accessories. Or HitCase accessories, but you could get GoPro ones because they're interchangeable. From a protection standpoint, the lips of the case are quite shallow, so a screen protector is a definite must. I will note that edge-to-edge screen protectors will not work with this case. Everything fits tightly together, so dust and debris will not be an issue, which is important if you're going to be taking it outside and doing awesome things with it. I do have a gripe with the buttons on the case, as it's pretty hard to use. If this was a normal case, this would be a deal breaker for me, but since this is a camera case, well, the tough button is just a mere annoyance. All right, boring stuff out of the way, I'm going to talk about the interesting stuff, namely the lenses, the mounting system, as well as the shooter pole. If you're finding this video useful, consider getting all your stuff through my website because, well, that's the best way to support me, and doing all this stuff is not cheap or free. Included with the HitCase Snap is a wide-angle lens that is stored on a keychain, this keychain is awesome. It has a bottle opener, which is awesome. Attaching the lens is as simple as taking the lens out of the rubber covers and screwing it to the blade mount. From a day-to-day practicality standpoint, the HitCase's lens setup is the easiest to use and is way better than the little baggy thing that the Moment lens gives you and the multitude of lens caps they have to deal with the Snap Pro and the stupid neck strap for the Olo Clip. The only one that might be easier to use would be the Z Prime carrier, but those lenses are much larger and you couldn't really keep those in your pocket. On the vacation that I mentioned earlier, I found it way easier to find the right lens with the HitCase Snap over the Olo Clip 4-in-1, mostly because the lenses were color-coded. In terms of lens quality, well, here's a picture of Calgary, the city I live in, and here's the same photo taken with the Trulux wide lens. Below that photo is one taken with the Z-Tilus Prime wide-angle lens. Field of view is similar, but the edges of the snap are much blurrier, and there is a bit of distortion you can't see in this landscape photo, but if we look at these photos taken of my eating area, you'll see that the snap's wide-angle lens doesn't do a good job of minimizing the distortion along the edges compared to the photos, especially when compared to the photos using the Z-Tilus Prime or the Moment lens. Now, if you were thinking about getting this case, you might think this is a downer thing, but I'll explain in a bit why that isn't the case, especially if you're shooting video. On to the Railslide mounting system. Included with the snap is a tilt tripod mount, which allows you to attach the snap to any sort of 1/4-inch tripod screw. A lot of the slow motion drop test footage in my reviews are filmed using an iPhone in a snap because it allows me to easily set up the iPhone and it's safe as well. I know the device is going to be protected. My only gripe with the mounting system is that the snap isn't as rigid as this Pro, so it's got a bit more give in the Railslide, but I've never had an issue with the snap falling off of the Railslide. One of the best parts about any HitCase product is the compatibility with Gopro mounts. The snap is no different, so if wearing your iPhone on your head is something you need to do, then you can easily do that with this HitCase product and a GoPro head mount. The last thing I will talk about is the shooter pole. It isn't the longest selfie pole in the world, but it will make your wide-angle shots a little more epic. I actually used the shooter pole on my vacation last December, swimming with the fishes and the turtles. The pole is collapsible, has a wrist strap, so it will minimize the chance that you'll just kind of let go of it and it'll float away, and also has a foam handle to ensure a decent grip. The ability to mount the HitCase Snap basically anywhere you want means that you can put your iPhone in pretty compromising positions, which is probably more useful for videos than it is for still photography. The HitCase Snap is way tougher than a lot of the other cases that I've used. There's no way I would take the Moments lens case and stick it to the selfie pole and go bike riding with it like I do with the HitCase Snap. Lens quality isn't as good as the other ones, but if you're not staring at those photos side by side, you probably won't notice it, especially with the videos, because there's just so much going on that you're not going to pay attention to that one corner that is just slightly blurry. So that's all I have. If you're wondering about what other camera cases that I reviewed, just head over to my website, do a search, and it'll show you all the camera cases that I reviewed. You can find me on Google plus Twitter as well as Facebook. I'm Aaron the Ho. This is Monty the Ho. This is the third video we filmed today. It's been about an hour's worth of just me talking straight. He's literally leaning on me. Like, he's not sitting on his own accord. He's just leaning right onto me. Lazy dog. Find me on Google plus Twitter as well as Facebook. I'm Aaron the Ho. I'm pretty sure I said that part already, but I don't care. I'm done filming for today.
Thank you.